Another chore that we have to do in the Oklahoma Gardening Studio today is to cover our soil. We're going to be sowing a cover crop of Austrian winter peas, and since they're a legume, we need to inoculate them, and I want you to keep in mind how well our green beans did when we inoculated them. Sometimes it can increase your yield up to 30%. Of course, with a cover crop, we're not growing them for the seed themselves, although you could harvest some winter peas, but usually you're going to turn those in before they get to a crop stage completely. Now I'm going to swirl this around until I get a bit of a slurry going, and the idea is just to dampen the inoculant. And check your inoculant package. Make sure it's for 1995 use, and also that it is for use on Austrian winter peas. You can also use this inoculant on hairy vetch as well. The idea is just to coat the seed and get enough inoculant on there so you can get that beneficial rhizobium bacteria established in the soil. Now this area that we're seeding was in strawberries. It's about 200 square feet, and the seeding rate for Austrian winter peas is about 3 to 4 pounds per 1,000 square feet. And so we're putting on a little less than a pound today of the winter peas. If we were sowing hairy vetch, the seed on that's a little smaller, and the plants are a little bit smaller, and so we'd sow that at the rate of about 1 pound per 1,000 square feet because the seed is much smaller. Now if you don't want to go with a legume, you could plant cereal rye. It's not the same as ryegrass. Ryegrass seed is what we've overseeded our lawns with. Cereal rye seed is about the same size as wheat seed, and any of these cover crop seeds you should be able to get at a local garden center or farm supply store. And it's not too late to put a few of these out and cover up your soil. You want to emphasize that even if you have a raised bed garden, they'll benefit from a cover crop as well. In fact, some work has been done on sowing a hairy vetch crop or a clover crop as an undersowing and letting that live through the winter, and then just cutting a hole for tomato plants and planting them directly into it and letting that be a living mulch through the summer. Now the next step you want to do after you broadcast the seed is just barely rake it in. And the idea behind this is just to get some good seed to soil contact, and you certainly want to be sure that you moisten it afterwards as well if you don't have rain coming. We've got rain predicted for tonight, so we're going to hedge our bets a little bit and not water it and hope for the rain to wash it in. Now the Austrian winter peas and the vetch you can expect to come up in about 5 days. The cereal rye will come up a little more quickly than that if you get good moisture. Now some people always ask, when do you till in these cover crops? And the idea is to let them grow until they're a height that you feel is manageable to cut down and work into your garden with a rototiller. Some people let them get too big and they end up with a difficult time getting them chopped up and worked into the soil. The last tip I want to give you is that the importance of cover crops is that they cover the soil and prevent erosion from wind blowing across your garden and from rain washing across the soil. Another benefit is that they enrich the soil, especially if it's a legume. It's going to add some nitrogen. And the last thing is they help suppress winter weeds such as henbit and other winter weeds that would take hold in your garden. And henbit is one weed that is an overwintering site for spider mites. So you might consider sowing a cover crop merely from the pest control aspect as well. I hope you'll try one this year, and certainly don't let your soil go into the winter completely bare.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.